I don't know about the rest of you, but I think I'm in the mood to do some serious cooking. Stick around, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hello again, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel, where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum, and this is another edition of Surviving Romance. I hear some of you ask sometimes, do you ever do an experiment here on the Prince Magnum channel? Whenever you do, when you do cooking, and from time to time, you all do get to see an experiment or two. Well, this is the first time I've ever done this particular application. So why don't I just go ahead and shut up and let's make a chicken salad.
I don't know about you folks, but I'm hungry, so let's get to cooking. For the first part of this, you're going to need one red bell pepper, one yellow bell pepper, a small onion of your choice. We used Vidalia in this case because I got a sweet deal on Vidalia onions, and about 6 cloves of garlic. Cut that up nice and fine, okay? Bite-sized pieces, bite-sized pieces. Get out your favorite cast iron skillet and pour in some regular olive oil, okay? Not extra virgin. We're going to need that later in this episode. So, again, high heat, extra virgin olive oil, do not mix, okay? Get your cast iron skillet and bring it up to a nice heat just as the oil starts to shimmer. Then you're going to throw in your veggies and a couple of heavy pinches of either kosher salt, sea salt, or in this case we used black Hawaiian salt, okay? Something a little different, something a little bit different. But if you're interested, give it a try. Now, this is a sweat, okay? So if you hear sizzling, turn down the heat. If you see things starting to turn brown, turn down the heat. Just start getting a good sweat going, okay? Be sure to coat them up and stir often, okay? And basically, we'll add the rest of this stuff as things start to soften, okay? You don't have to wait till it turns really soft, because if you do, basically by the time we get to the end of this episode, it'll be mush. Also, don't brown it or, cook it on high heat, because it'll be the same dang thing. We're not looking to do a puree here, okay? So, just stick with me on this, folks. Stick with me, all right? This is the sweat, and if you haven't done so, which I would hope that you did a little bit of prep work just like we did in this video, get a package of chicken tenders. You could use chicken breast, but hey, chicken tenders work just fine, and it's a nice economical cut because a lot of people don't know how to cook chicken tenders, and most people don't even think about it. They go directly to the chicken breast. Chicken tenders are actually leaner than the chicken breast. Unfortunately, it doesn't offer as much flavor, so a lot of times you'll see me brine them. While we're on the subject, what we did for this is I took about 2 tablespoons of butter, melted that down, and added the juice of 1 lemon and 1 lime. Okay, I basically made kind of a vinaigrette out of it, if you will, which you'll see vinaigrettes used more in this video as it progresses, and then coated the chicken up with it and threw it back in the fridge for about 10-15 minutes. Yes, I know what the butter is going to do. I don't care. Could you take this directly to cooking? Yeah, you could do that, but I needed a little bit more time to prep. And I don't like to leave raw chicken in the zone for very long. So what I went ahead and did is I put it back in the fridge and let it sit for about 10-15 minutes. Now that everything's all softened for the veggies, I threw it all in the pan, adjusted the heat accordingly. Okay. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of let the camera roll, and we're going to talk about a few things that are kind of important. Number one, why do you all see me constantly go back to my favorite cast iron skillet? Well, because I have a crappy electric stove, okay? And because of that, cast iron is a magnificent conductor of heat, okay? It holds on to heat. I mean, ask anybody who's ever done campfire cooking and their fire was a little weak. Guess what? That cast iron skillet was their favorite best friend. Oh, by the way, in that bottle is a vinaigrette, and we're going to talk about that later on in this episode. But anyhow, back to my friend cast iron. This is why even in, when we're doing do-it-yourself budget hot rodding, you'll hear me constantly say that cast iron is the best friend a mechanic can have when it comes to engines. This stuff can take heat. It's magnificent for it, okay? So if you've got a crappy electric stove, this is going to be your best friend, okay? Just make sure you take good care of it. Cast iron will last you forever if you take good care of it, okay? Also, since we're on the subject of chicken, be careful with this stuff, folks. Cook it thoroughly. I'd hate to hear any of my subscribers or anyone just passing through the Prince Magnum channel and looking at chicken. It's salmonella is not a joke, okay? Food poisoning, period, is not a joke. Be sure that you cook it properly. If you're worried about salmonella, some people go so far as to use a special cutting board just for poultry. Some people even go so far while they're handling it and cutting it and everything else, they'll even go so far as to wear, wear gloves, like latex or even the vinyl. Completely up to you, but if you feel the need, go ahead and play it safe. I'd hate for any of you out there to get sick trying to cook something like this up, okay? So just play it safe. Play it safe, folks. All right. If you don't know what cooked chicken should, thoroughly cooked chicken should look like, we're going to get to that in a few minutes, okay? I know some of you out there are not experienced cooks. That's okay. Nobody's going to fault you for it. That's what this channel is all about, showing all of you how to cook. Right now, you see me grinding on black pepper. Now, I know some of you out there, might be asking the question, why didn't you put that in a lot sooner? Well, this is high heat by now, folks, okay? Black pepper has a tendency to burn with high heat. So, grind it on towards the end of it all, okay? Just play it safe, okay? Don't burn your food. Trust me on this. Burnt food isn't always the way to go. Burn offerings. Now in a second you're going to see the camera kind of fade away. I'm going to tell you all right now. This is how it should look when it's done, okay? By now I've already killed the heat. I'm just letting residual heat just finish the job, okay? This is how it should look. Play it safe, folks. If it looks pink, it's not done, all right? Now, we're going to cut away, get some bowls ready. We have young, fresh spinach leaves. You could do this with romaine. Shoot, any lettuce will work just fine for this. Whatever you like. We use fresh spinach. Give it a few minutes to kind of cool off, because this is supposed to be kind of a salad. And, of course, sprinkle on your favorite vinaigrette. I already hear some of you saying, Prince Magnum, I don't know how to make a vinaigrette. Well, here's how you do it. About 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and, of course, a few pinches of kosher salt, along with some black pepper, 2 tablespoons of mustard powder or ground mustard, whichever you prefer, and of course, Um, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Okay. Now, for this application, I augmented the apple cider vinegar with the rest of that lemon and lime, the other halves that I talked about earlier, into the apple cider vinegar. Worked out just fine. The pink bottle in the back you need because you have to shake this up. Vinegar being an oil base, and the extra virgin olive oil, they don't mix. Okay, it's a water and an oil. They don't mix. And the mustard powder, or ground mustard in this case, has lecithin in there and kind of helps hook them up for at least a temporary period of time. So go ahead, and that'll work just fine. Now, I know some recipes out there suggest using smooth Dijon mustard. I used to, but I found that if I wanted to keep this for a little while, well, guess what? For whatever reason or another, the mustard would sink to the bottom, and then you had the vinegar on top of that, and then on top of that you had the oil, and you just could not get them to mix back up. That's why I switched to the mustard powder, okay, or the ground mustard. Both will work just fine. The lecithin in there works just like eggs and mayonnaise. Great for making an emulsion. It's just something that works out wonderfully, okay? Also, for you bacon lovers out there, you can augment this same recipe. Don't use the lemon and the lime, but you can augment your extra virgin olive oil with a couple tablespoons of bacon drippings. It'll give it a nice bacon flavor. And guess what? The brown sugar, because of the molasses, yeah, you know what's up. You know what's up right there. And it gives it a nice bacon flavor for all of you bacon lovers out there. Give it a try. Give it a try. Also, if you like the balsamic vinaigrette, just swap out the apple cider vinegar for balsamic. Want red wine vinaigrettes? Same thing. This is kind of a universal sort of vinaigrette. And again and again and again, vinaigrettes are very healthy because of the extra virgin olive oil. And for some of you out there who like the grapeseed oil, just swap out the extra virgin olive oil. This is what extra virgin olive oil is really, this is where it shines, is in vinaigrettes. Also, if you don't want to do a salad, try it out with cooked pasta with maybe some homemade bacon or just different things like that. It's very healthy. Just give it a try. I promise you, you'll absolutely love this stuff. Now, the bottle that you see right here, this is going to be your best friend in the whole wide world, okay? Just give it a good, thorough shaking, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. Make sure you got a good tight lid. I also actually have a cocktail shaker that I use for the same thing because it also has a built-in strainer. Really awesome for that. But there you go. That's a vinaigrette. I mean, how much easier can that get? Just make sure that you use good measuring cups for this. Okay, a lot of fun to shake this up. And for those of you out there who like Italian dressings, same thing, just with a lot of other stuff in it too. All right, let's get back to this. Is exactly what it should look like. Doesn't that look good, folks? Oh my gosh, I enjoyed eating it. So if you're interested, maybe you might give this a try. Now that we're done with all that, I'll see all of you on the other side of this video.
Welcome back. I hope all of you enjoyed that. I know I enjoyed eating it, and I know Princess Faye wolfed it down. So in this whole episode, we used some non-expensive cut chicken tenders that we got from from a local grocery store, Country Mart to be exact, right here in Bonne Terre. Most everything you can get at just about any local grocery store. And if you shop around, you can get it at a very affordable price. And if you ask me, I mean, it's healthy, It's tasty. I mean, you can't beat that with a stick. Well, I guess you could try, but it looked kind of ridiculous now, wouldn't it? So there you have it. Another episode right to the books. I hope all of you give it a try. I really do. I hope all of you at home give this a heck of a try. So that brings us to the usual spot. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you got any wonderful and positive feedback, be sure to leave it in the box below. If you're not subscribed to the Prince Magnum channel, I don't know why you're not. Hit that subscribe button. There's a little something on here for everybody. And if you're really savvy, you're going to hit that bell icon. You'll be notified every time we upload a brand new video. As usual, get out there and work on a project. Don't care what it is, just do something with yourself. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet. And as always, for all of you out there, if nobody out there has told any of you that they love you, Prince Magnum does. God bless you, and have a happy 24. Thank you.
You done messed up, Aaron. Now take your ass on down to Oshag Hennessy's office right now and tell him exactly what you did. Get out of my goddamn classroom before I break my foot off in your ass. Insubordinate and churlish.